Considering this is a video about 300 people being murdered, hundreds of people being injured, and thousands of buildings destroyed, don't really know where to start this video. But I will say welcome to my NHD project of 2020. Hi, Mr. McNish. Sorry that I'm late. If I'm not, this is awkward. So, I chose the topic of the Tulsa Massacre of 1921, which is also known as the Tulsa Race Massacre. I chose this because this is a part of Black history, and I feel like Black history isn't taught well enough in school. So any opportunity I get to teach about Black history, I'm going to take it. Trying to make this a pretty interesting and funny video because I don't want y'all to be bored. Like, I want this to be a fun project. You know, I'm actually having fun making this. Let's start on the topic of the Tulsa Massacre. So, on May 31st, 1921, a 19-year-old Black man by the name of Dick Rowland stepped onto the elevator with 17-year-old Sarah Page. Now, no one knows for sure what happened, but there are two pretty popular stories. There's one that he fell going into the elevator and grabbed onto Sarah to catch his fall, and she ended up screaming. Another man heard and claimed that he sexually assaulted her. There is another story going around saying that he stepped on her foot, same outcome, she screamed, a man heard and claimed that he raped her. So this made story headlines, and in 1921 that was a great way of news to get everywhere. So of course, you know, everybody heard it, and a group of Black men went to the courthouse to ask for protection over Dick. They were armed. He did nothing wrong. He was a Black man in 1921, which is only 65 years after slavery, which means there was still major segregation and hatred towards Black people. They went to ask the court to keep authorities around Dick, and there was a mob of white men there too, because they had also heard about it, and a shot was fired, and then began the riots. After the first shot was fired, there was fighting, there were shooting, and basically the people wanted to wipe out the entire Black race from Tulsa, Oklahoma. This lasted May 31st to June 1st, 1921. On June 1st, they went to what is known as the Black Wall Street, which was basically an African American neighborhood, which they had banks, they had hotels, they had restaurants, basically a little city in Tulsa, Oklahoma for Black people. Because the white folk knew about this, they wanted to wipe the whole thing out. They wiped out schools, they wiped out buildings, they wiped out basically the whole entire city of Black Wall Street. And they were taking away Black men and keeping them because they felt as if all Black men were the same way. This is known to be the most violent racial riot in American history. In 2 days, 300 Black people were killed. There weren't many survivors, and the ones that were kind of traumatized and had to stay in that house for a very, very long time, because even though this riot did last only 1 or 2 days, it was still a very traumatic experience. Women were being raped, men were being taken away, men were being killed. It doesn't matter how old you were. If you were Black, you were being killed, and you would think that, you know, the white people would be arrested, but none of that happened. None of it. Thousands were injured. This includes Blacks and whites. Of course, there were some white people who, you know, fought against it, but they were killed or they were brutally injured. So, I mean, no one was really safe in this situation except for the white people that, you know, wanted to kill all Black people. Thousands of buildings were destroyed. Like I said, there were schools, there were banks, there were hotels, the whole entire city where Black people, you know, kind of had for themselves. It was destroyed, all because of one false accusation. I couldn't really find if, you know, Dick was a survivor, but I think it's kind of common sense that he wasn't. So yeah, Thank you for watching my NHD project. Enjoy these bloopers right quick. So let's have a little rundown of how this happened, shall we? If I can even, that was supposed to be a clean little, but I can't even open my Chromebook. 15%! I mean, I'm a boring person, but like, y'all shouldn't have to like watch a video about that. Also, I just realized most of y'all haven't seen me without my mask. So this is me. I promise I'm not making this on the day before. I'm lying. I made this the day before. Oh my gosh, let me start over. Here's my comfort animal because making videos makes me nervous. Because this is a video about a bunch of black people being murdered, I don't really know how to start this